And if you do have questions throughout, feel free to post them in the chat. If you want to come off mute and ask questions, please feel free to do so. This recording will be sent out probably later on this afternoon. So if you want to access this at any point, go back and review any of the topics that are covered. You can certainly go back and review that. Also attached to the recording is a quick questionnaire. We just ask that you fill that out. It should take you no more than 2 minutes. We certainly appreciate your feedback. So please take the time to do that. And that, like I said, it will be attached to that email that will include the recording. And as I had mentioned, chat's open. Feel free to come off mute if you want to ask questions. If you want to post them into the chat, we'll be monitoring that as well. But we certainly want you to participate. This presentation is certainly the type of presentation that we want you engaged in asking any questions. So please feel free to do so. And from here, what I will do is I'm going to pass it over to Elizabeth.
Hi, welcome everyone. So my name is Elizabeth Sumner. I also work here at WGU. I've been here going on 13 years, so absolutely love it. Have seen lots of growth and development, and also have had the wonderful opportunity to partner with Western Governors University as they have created and worked with ICF, the International Coach Federation, to bring coaching to our faculty here. And so I have been able to go through that course. And so just wanted to talk a little bit about it and how we can partner with you for your success. And so like RJ said, that we are looking at having this presentation be very engaging. So I would love for you to type in the chat, shout out where you're located. I would love to hear just how you're feeling too. So if you would like to come off mute at any time, if you have a question or just want to engage with the session, I would love to hear from you as well. So, what we want to look at today is just trying to see and understand what coaching is and how it can support you as you are looking at the stage that you're at in your life, where and what you're looking to do, whether it be career, personal, professional, whatever it is that you're looking at. That's where coaching can be supportive. So we're going to talk through that, and then we're going to keep moving through. So, but before we jump to the next slide, I just want to kind of get a sense of where everyone is, because I know we hear coaching a lot. We hear it within like sports. We hear coaching in many different ways. And so I just want to hear from you. 1 or 2 words. How would you define coaching? Come off mute, put it in the chat. I would love to hear your quick, this is what I think, or this is where I'm at, an understanding of coaching. And don't be shy. Career guidance. Okay. Helping others achieve their goals. Great. There's no wrong answer, I promise. Career help mentor. Great. Mentoring. All right. So great responses. We're going to dive into this a little bit. And so come on the journey with me here. There we go. So what is coaching? So I just wanted to take a little bit of time to just kind of level set, because we all come in with different definitions and not necessarily wrong in what we're looking at. I think coaching can fit into a lot of different spaces for a lot of different individuals. But kind of how we define it within ICF, so that International Coaching Federation, is that coaching is a partnership, and it is defined by an alliance. So between the coach and the client coming together to work through things or to talk about things. So it is a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires the person to really maximize on their personal, their professional potential. So it is designed to help facilitate that creation and development. And we look at a lot of different areas too, like that personal, professional, sometimes business goals, just different ways to help you develop and carry out a strategy or a plan in achieving goals that you want to set for yourself. Sometimes coaching is unknown, and that is things that we work through. So a lot of times we're like, well, I don't know what I want to do or where I need to go. I have a lot of people that come to me in that way, and that is okay because we come to you in your space where you are at. We meet the person where they are, and we help to empower you to work through what you need to and to create that personalized journey through agency for yourself. So coaching is slightly different than some things that we have seen before, like advising or therapy, sometimes even our traditional mentoring here at WGU. And what I mean by that is in each of those, there can be like that power dynamic, right? They're the expert, someone having that expertise over another. So giving advice, sometimes that may or may not land with you very well. Right. And sometimes because they might think they're the expert, they know what's going on. So sometimes you might not to explore or do what they're saying, but you might feel that pressure because there is that power dynamic there. So, but with coaching, we come together as partners. And you being the expert in your life and me or the coach being the expert in coaching. And so we come together. And so that's what it means by it's that transformation learning experience that we come together to work on what is meaningful for you. So, because the process of coaching often unlocks that, previously untapped sources of imagination that you have or productivity and all the leadership potential that is already within you. So, as we look for this presentation here, let's talk. So how does this idea of coaching, how does it align with kind of like how you came in today? So I'd love to, again, come off mute, post in the chat. Does that kind of sound like, and what we have here on the screen, does that, really align with what you were thinking coaching is? Okay, yeah, all right. Did anything shift for you? What shifted? I think one thing for me as I was entering the coaching space was that coaching can be direct, but not directive. It's that idea of coming together as that partner and at that power level. That was something that for me was kind of eye-opening. And I was like, oh, that's different because sometimes it's hard for us to, recognize that I don't have to be the expert everywhere. And so we can work together and partner together to really find something that works for us and to help you to kind of support you in that place of where you're at. Great. Okay. So coaching here, so different expectations. So when entering into coaching sessions, coaching conversation, there are different expectations. There are certain things that we are held to. And so since we've defined it, and we've walked through what coaching is and what to expect from that coach. So here at WGU, like I mentioned, I trained through that ICF. And so within that coaching framework, it is an intense 12-week study course where we have readings and practice sessions and course learnings and watching videos of expert coaches. And so all sorts of things going on for a 12-week program. And then we have 100 coaching hours, and then we sit for an exam. And so all through that, we also learn too that we have these main coaching values, right? And so they are professionalism, the collaboration, humanity, and equity. And you'll see that as we're kind of talking through all of these things, how they are interwoven in everything within the coaching session and how the coach will behave, right? Or act within a session. So behave sounds so like, I don't know, sounds like what I would say to my kids. So scratch that. But we hold these closely because we believe that all people are whole beings, that they are here to just kind of work through things. And we as the coach are here to journey with them to help the coachee gain their agency in their life. So but as we look at that coach-client relationship, and these are things that when I'm doing an intro session with all of my prospective coachees, that I will talk to them about and I'll go over with them because there's certain expectations because it's a partnership that we come together. And so within this coaching relationship with the client, we talk about these in regards to make sure that we are all coming in and it's level set, right? So the coach agrees that we will maintain ethics and standards, the behaviors that are established by the International Coach Federation. So we also are working together to co-create that journey through topics that are important to you as the coachee, right? That's that whole being approach, right? So that really pulling everything together for the coachee. And we co-create a space where you can reflect, work through areas that you find meaning, and look towards just ways to move forward. The client also acknowledges that coaching is a comprehensive process, right? That it involves different areas of the coachee's life. And I work through lots of different areas. So working on work, finances, health, relationships, education, even some recreation things for people, how to find hobbies, how to find and be that whole being, right? The client also then, or the coachee also agrees that deciding how to handle these issues. It is not that power struggle. It is not me saying, oh, you should do this or try this. Sometimes the coach might take off the coaching hat, but it's always in an ask. I may have a suggestion. Would you be okay if I took off my coaching hat? And it is okay to say, no, really, I don't want to hear it. And that is absolutely fine. Those are the ways in which we co-create that relationship together. So, but we also look at the client's understanding in order to enhance that relationship, right? Communicating honestly, being open to feedback, right? It can be directed, or it can be direct, but not directive, right? And looking at that assistance to create time and energy to fully participate in the coaching sessions. And unlike how we are recording this session here, a typical coaching session is anonymous, and so nothing will be shared to others. But if the coachee would like to share with friends, family, whoever, they are more than welcome to. And so, but the coach is held by it being anonymous, barring if there's any like threatening situations or things like that. So, but for the overall and the vast majority of coaching sessions, they are anonymous. And so, I actually think on again some of that. This is what I kind of expected for like coaching or a coaching session with a coach. How does that align with your expectations of what the conversation would be like? Do you feel there's anything maybe missing that you would feel would be? I would think that this would be in a coaching session. So again, you can come off mute, post in the chat. Just want to see how this kind of lands with everyone. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it sounds like that is what people would expect to kind of be in there. And it's okay if, sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And until we're actually in a situation, we might be like, oh, well, I think this would be in, but otherwise this is sounding pretty good. So we'll go ahead and move forward. So as we are looking at this coaching career quest that everyone is in, that WG is putting on here. So how can coaching assist you, right? And so now that we've talked through some of the framework on what coaching is and what to expect in a coaching call, let's look at how a coaching session can assist you in that career quest. So just want to put this out there. So tell me how this lands. Can you recall the last question that really made you think? I don't know, maybe it was this one. Oh, Monica, yes. Love it, Jose. Great. Right? Yeah. So sometimes we just get so focused on moving and being busy that we give very little time to think, reflect, and focus on ourselves and what we want or even need. So that is the space that coaching sessions can land you in. That is one way that coaching can really help you in that career quest. Because I work with people every day who are investing in themselves and taking that time to really understand what they want. Sometimes what they need. Sometimes it might not be what they want, but maybe it is what they need, right? So there's all sorts of dynamics in that, right? So, but coaching, it will help you know, so that way you can talk to different employers. If you are in that space where you are interviewing or sending out applications, or coaching is a way to really stop and reflect before just blanketing everything out there, right? Because we don't want to do that. That's a lot of time and energy, maybe not directed in a great place. Coaching helps you to really think about what you want, your values, your needs, that can help you to um, communicate that more effectively in an interview or with your current employer if you're looking to move up. It can also help you screen out potential companies that do not align with your values or things that you need as you're moving kind of forward or in a different direction, but in a direction you want to go. So a couple real examples of how I've helped help people, coaches through coaching is that they were working to increase their current engagement with their employer. And we worked through this and we were able to provide regular feedback. I've worked with someone to really identify and develop their strengths, supporting them in their career development. What direction do they want to go, or what focus? Maybe it's multiple paths, but really kind of focusing it though on places that they could go with it. I recently had one on how do I have a difficult conversation with my supervisor. I found out they lied in a big way. Processing through that. So sometimes some heavy stuff. Creating a job search strategy, personal goals, weekly check-ins towards them, even working through physical wellness. How does that impact the areas of my life? And I love identifying intentionality, balance in my work and personal life. I'm all about life balance. And coaching has really brought that on for a lot of people that I've worked with. And so speaking now on some of those benefits, right? And so some of them, if they were here today, they would talk about that benefits of intentionality, clearer mind because I've worked through things. I can go through and be strategic and present. I'm more self-reliant. I can do these academic and like professional goals. More job life satisfaction, greater responsibility and accountability to my actions. And I'm contributing more and I can feel that I'm giving back in my community. So I've heard a lot of those benefits from some of the people that I've coached. And when we think about that internal piece, those changes from within, that's powerful. And that can help to project me moving forward and to communicate more effectively, especially if I'm in that career quest. Okay. So as we look at coaching here, right? So I want to have a little bit of fun. So we're going to do and get a little mini coaching session here because I want to get you reflecting on what is really important or needed in your life right now. So this is how this is going to work, okay? So open up Word on your computer, grab a pen and paper. You didn't think you'd have like an assignment, right? So no, so grab your pen and paper or whatever works best for you. You can even type it in the chat if you feel comfortable with that. But again, this is personal for you. So if you want to keep it kind of close to the vest, go right ahead. But I've got 4 questions here that I'm going to pose to you. So we're going to take a little bit of time here. So, and I just want you to think about it. Okay, I'm going to give you some time so don't feel like you have to rush, because I can sit in silence. That's one great thing about being a coach is I've learned to sit through the silence because that is where the magic really happens. And so I want you to reflect first. I know I tend to just jump right in. I'm a very action-oriented person. I just want to get things, I move on it. I love that. But I've learned that there is, I don't know, magic in the pause and to stop and think first and not just do. Because I think that's where I and a lot of society here tend to go to. And so I want you to think first and then jot some things down. So, or if you're creative, you can do a word cloud, get some fun pens. I love my fun pens. I love color. So grab that. You can be a little creative if you want. But like I said, we're going to take a few minutes for each question. And then if you feel comfortable, quickly process together. So everyone ready? So the first question that I have here is, what are your top 3 values? Oops, I went ahead. Sorry about that. I jumped ahead. What are your top 3 values? Oh, in a minute. Great question, Stephen. So I'll pose this back to you. What does it look like if they were together? I think as we look at coaching, it's that me as a whole. Top 6 values. I got 3 at work and I got 3 in life. Okay. Great. So if you feel comfortable and you would like to share your top value, feel free to post it in the chat. So if anyone wants to share. Okay. Now that you have them listed on that paper or that location of choice, take a look at the order. How does that resonate with you? Does something need to be reordered that is meaningful? Okay. Jose, integrity. I'd also like to think on, again, personal. So you can keep that close to you if you'd like. More than welcome to share if you would like to voice some things. Um, what is the value internally as to the order that you have it? Why is that so important to you? So just take a minute to kind of think about that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to our next question, but still kind of think about that. Keep it in the back of your mind as we're looking towards question 2 here. So what is motivating you to have coaching sessions or at least to explore it? Good question, Mark. Oh, does that mean good question? A little slow today, sorry. Great. Insight? Okay. If anyone else would like to share in the chat, that would be great. how could they align to those values? Love it, Brandy. Exactly. We all have that inner child still trying to figure out, what do I want to be when I grow up? And that's okay. That inner child is so inquisitive and so insightful that it's good to tap back into it. Self-improvement from a different perspective. Yeah. Could all use a little perspective. I don't know if we have any Ratatouille fans in here or not, but I love Disney movies. I don't know. I was thinking a lot about Ratatouille. I don't know why, as I was preparing for this. So I even have a dog named Remy. So our third question here. So where are you now? And where do you want to be? Where would you like to be? Big goals. Looking for small actionable steps for the goals. Yes. We talk a lot in coaching on some of that scale. Where would you say you're at now on a scale of 1 to 10? We say 6. Well, what's that step to get you to 7? Because I know so often we want to jump to that 10. But let's start with that 7. What does that look like? I love tiny habits. I don't know if anyone has heard about tiny habits, but I really like the small changes. How can it integrate into my life? Where in my life? Small and meaningful ways. Yeah, great. And I know these can be questions where we sit and we're like, I don't know. And that can be a hard space to be in, but there's a lot to be explored in there. And coaching can really help with that. All right, so let's take a look at our final question here. So in 1 year from now, well, it's a little bit bigger than a one step here because it's helpful to know maybe where I want to go and then create the small steps to get there. What am I striving for? But also to really think about, in 1 year from now, as I look back, what would my future self say? What are you hoping to say that has changed you? Or changed within you? Graduation. So as we kind of look back on this little mini session here, let's really stop and reflect. During this time, what was your greatest awareness or insight? Again, if you feel comfortable to post that in the chat, great, or come off mute, I'd love to hear from you. Or just write that down in your journal or wherever you're taking those notes. I think, right? Because I think sometimes it's that, well, I'm not sure. Coaching provides that space to really have that focus. And for some people, that can be a little uncomfortable, but it can help to drive some good change, some good insights to really get me to pause and think. Because again, I mean, I think about my own life and I'm busy with the kids and running around and doing this and doing work and all over the place. That busyness can kind of cloud and get in the way of true, meaningful conversations, relationships, and sometimes we can get away from ourselves. Just reading Jose's comments. So, yeah, and I don't have all the answers, and that's okay. And your coach won't have all the answers, and that's okay. Because it's coming together in that partnership to help you to gain agency and looking at, again, really sifting through everything to taking that time to focus to really understand what does all this mean for me and what do I want to do about it? And sometimes it's letting certain things go and exploring others. And that's okay. So, as we look here on some of those insights, some of those learnings, right? Those are things that I work with coaches on. And we'll meet certain amount of times or we'll have just a standing meeting until the coachee says, I'm good. And that's always a day to celebrate. Or we can just keep having sessions and keep working on different things, but getting to that point where I feel good. So those are just some things that as you're looking at scheduling coaching or exploring coaching or even doing some reflection, hopefully this time has been a little rewarding for you that you've been able to just stop and reflect, have a little bit of mini me time and all the busyness of everything. So I just kind of want to open it up here. 2 questions. I have my contact information. I would love to set up coaching conversations with you. So if you're interested, I have my email address there. You can stay on. You can send me your information in here. I would love to just take that time to go ahead and meet for you. It's all free of charge. Fun fact, average cost of an hour of coaching sessions it's a little over $100. So available to you at no cost. So all of being a WGU student or a alumni. So, but yeah, so any questions on coaching, kind of what you expected? Again, don't be shy. Post in the chat, come off mute. I love coffee. I know I've referenced it a couple times. Great. Again, if you want to explore, have more questions about it, please reach out to me. Outside of W, how do you find a coach? So you can look I would look for someone who's gone through the certification, so an ICF certified coach. So you can look up ICF certified coaches in my area. So if you want more of a face-to-face, a lot of coaches will do it online. So kind of face-to-face like this. I do all of mine, or most of mine, not quite all, but most of mine in an online setting like this, and we'll get on a call and we'll chat. So yep, so you can do an online search. But again, I would look for someone who's been ICF certified. And a lot of times people will specialize in certain areas. So there's like executive coaching, leadership coaching, life coach, personal development. So there's a variety of different, some people will find little niches that they like and really kind of hone their skills in certain areas or supporting people in those ways. Mhm. Oh, my pleasure, Charlotte. Well, I will hang on for a little bit longer. If you have any other questions on coaching or just how do I find coaches or set it up, or if you're interested in exploring it more with me, I would love to have a conversation. And again, please feel free to email me at the esumner@wgu.edu. But I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day, their week, and are enjoying the fall weather, or I guess it's still summer, but fall-like weather. Hopefully in your area, you're getting a little reprieve because I know some places have been pretty toasty. So thank you all for attending.
And I did just want to give you a shout out, Elizabeth, for jumping on today and giving this presentation. And thank you everyone for attending. We certainly appreciate it. But yes, thank you, Elizabeth, for jumping on and sharing this presentation. Fantastic job.
Oh, thanks, RJ. Yeah. So Christina, so if you look in your area for ICF, so the International Coach Federation, you can search in your area. Some people have individual websites, but you can go to that ICF page itself. So you can just pull up that organization's website, and they even have a search for a coach in there. So you can search for coaches. And coaches are all across the world. So coaching is global. And so you can find all sorts of different coaches. So you can kind of, pick and choose in there. So, so that is one place that you can go to make sure that you are getting a coach that is certified. It's just a great website. And there's more information about coaching on there as well. But you can also do just local searches and search for people in your area that are ICF trained. So, and let me see if I can let me stop presenting here. Stop. And let me pull their website. All right. And I know they even have like local chapters because I live in Indiana. And so we have like a local Indiana chapter. But you can go. Let me see if I can find the specific spot. Where did it go? And I can't see the chat. So RJ, if you see another question, would you mind letting me know while I'm kind of searching this up here?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Here's the Find a Coach. Sorry, it wasn't pulling up for me. And now I have it. So let me come back to the chat. Here it is. So that is one way that you can find a coach. directly from their website.
Does anybody else have questions?
Oh, and on the cost, so that can vary. It depends on the coach, and there's different levels of certification. And so depending on where that coach is and the experience that coach has, the pricing structure might be different. But you can kind of get in there and you can talk to different coaches. It's even sometimes recommended to, you can try a couple different coaches to get different perspectives, or to, have different types of conversation, because everyone's a little bit different. But yeah, so the cost will vary depending on the coach. So I'm sorry, I don't have I just know that what I was told around the average cost for an hour session is around a little over $100. That's an average. So you can find some a little less, a little more. Sometimes they'll run, like fun specials, like, oh, here's 4 coaching sessions, and it's like $300. It might be a little bit of a discount. So, so I've seen lots of different things regarding the cost structure. So it just kind of depends. Coaches available through WGU. So we do have coaches that have gone through. I'm not sure, and they are on the ICF. However, I could explore that a little bit more. And so if you are interested in, because I know I'm not the only coach, and so if you want to maybe like a different presentation style with someone else, or just want to explore that, I don't take offense. So if you want to say, hey, I would love to do coaching, is there anyone else at WGU, maybe not you, that you can get me connected with? I'd be more than happy to see, because I have a lot of connections with people that have gone through the coaching program here at WGU. And so I can, if there's certain things that you're looking for, maybe some specialties or certain types of like hours, then I can explore that and see if I can find some of my colleagues that might be a good match for you.
And I think some of our career advisors have also, they've gone through the program or they're currently going through the program as well.
Great call out. Thanks, RJ. I forgot about to mention them. So thank you.
I was just gonna jump off mute and kind of ask a couple of extra questions if that's okay. I don't want to hijack anything.
No, you're not hijacking anything, so go right ahead.
So just kind of a little bit of background, because I actually have been looking for a coach, so I was excited to see this. It's kind of a weird place, and kind of what I'm looking for is somebody that's, well into my professional career and have kind of had that developed, but was actually diagnosed with ADHD late in life. And so like all of these things became clear. And so for me, it's finding somebody that can kind of take that professional piece of things and be able to apply it in a way that kind of, I don't want to say caters to that, but kind of does to that diagnosis. But really finding, people will say that, they're knowledgeable in it, but I find that it may not really work for me. So I'm just curious if there is, I was looking on the website that you mentioned, if you maybe know of anybody or anywhere to look, or any sort of way to search on that website that might give better results for what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's a great question. So what specifically then within a coach, like, is it characteristics you're looking for, understanding? I guess what
Yeah.
more so are you looking for? Because I think that's where the pairing really comes in. Because again, you are the expert in your life and kind of what you're dealing with. The coach is there to kind of ask those questions, to kind of walk with you in this journey. And so I guess I would be interested to understand a little bit more as to kind of what like background or characteristics you're looking for, to see one, if I know anyone, or if anyone we can like
Yeah.
or ways to like ask ICF to maybe get a little bit more in depth with them.
Right. For me specifically, I just find a lot of those like typical like organizational techniques, or some of those other kind of standards, because I think for me, I would really like someone to help focus on kind of like that next stage of career. And then also, there are some, I think, personal aspects of that too. But I find that in the couple of conversations I've had, a lot of general statements are made that may not apply to folks with ADHD. And some of the standard, when you were talking about, the little goals, those are really great, but it's really also very hard to sustain any kind of momentum or motivation with ADHD. So tricks kind of around that. And that's really more what I'm looking for, is somebody that really understands the diagnosis, but also maybe some experience in ways to navigate around those challenges to get you where you need to go, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I can talk to our trainer here at WGU. So she has the highest level of coaching. And so I can ask her to see if there's anyone that she would recommend, or in this instance, what she would recommend. And so if you feel comfortable, if you would like to maybe email me with, so that way I'll have your email address, I can reach out to Sheila and see maybe what she would recommend in this situation. So that way then I can kind of relay that information back to you.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Any other final questions? All right. Well, I think we are good, RJ. So,
Awesome.
any other questions, you're more than welcome to send me an email. Let me know if there are, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my email back in the chat. So that way you have it, and you can reach out to me if you have if something comes to you a little bit later. So let me know.
And just a reminder, this was recorded. It'll be sent out probably this afternoon. So if you want to go back and reference anything that Elizabeth covered, certainly can go back and do that. So keep an eye out for that email this afternoon. But thank you again, Elizabeth, for jumping on and presenting. And thank you, everybody, for attending.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the day.